Well, hello and welcome to this edition of Pimp My Diecast, where we're going to be taking a Joal, or Joal, or however you say it, 143rd E-Type Jaguar, and Joal were a company. They're still going, they're not were a company, are a company, and they're in Alicante, Spain, better known as Benidorm. Do 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 do. Bow wow wow. You know if you're in the UK. Anyway, and they made a range of 143rd cars. I wouldn't be too surprised if they were either in the same factory or not far off the other brand in Alicante, Auto Pilling. I wouldn't be surprised if they had links with them. But this is a really nice model of an E-Type. The proportions aren't too bad. Anyway, I missed the stripping down. I thought I'd filmed it, but I mustn't have done. But anyway, you didn't miss a lot. They only unscrew, and one screw holds it together, and you undo that, and they're quite a complex assembly, really. They have twin independent coil springs at the rear. They had a bonnet latch, which there were a broken piece in, so I had to make my own piece to keep the bonnet in place. It were only a case of making a square piece of plastic card, about 2-3 milli thick, I think it was. Make a square and put it inside the chassis to hold the bonnet plate in. And here it's in the caustic bath of doom. Doom, I tell you. Quite tough paint, really, as well. In places it were pretty thick. I think it had been put on with a roller, to be honest. But hey ho, it was quite good. It would have been nice in the day, but it was very much, I've seen better, put it that way, than here. Just using the wire wheel we do. Take oxidisation off, etc. Which weren't too bad. It weren't that bad on the all. I've had worse castings. But I had to take it off because I want to polish the bumpers up. There we go, the doors and boot lid were done. And here we go, there were a bit of a ridge in it, so I decided to file it off. And in we go with a salt water sol and a buffing wheel. My go-to polish is salt water sol. Never let me down restoring real cars, motorcycles. It's absolutely cracking stuff. They've been making it for decades, so I'd imagine what they do, they know what they're doing by now. And it's a tried It's a tried and tested formula, why change? And here I'm giving the chassis a blast of black paint. It was silver, but I preferred it black. I did try polishing it, but it had lacquer on it and it had gone, the lacquer. It had yellowed and stuff, and I didn't really fancy yellowy lacquer. And here I've taped over the bumpers that I've polished. I'm giving it a quick coat of primer. Then it got a quick coat of cheap white. I don't think I'll show all the painting. It's not really necessary. And my voice is a bit husky at the moment because I've had COVID, so I'm sipping Lemsip with honey and whiskey in. Sort of doing the trick. Making my eyes a bit squiffy and making me wobble a bit, but hey ho. It's the penance you have to pay for having flu. I think it was possibly COVID. Because I've been off sick from work. I've no intention of rushing back either, because I've got an holiday coming up and I weren't going in for one night. I'm still recovering. Wears me out. I went in, did a shift, I went back too early. And I ended up sleeping for 20 hours, so thought, nah, give that a miss. I weren't that much use when I were in anyway. And yeah, there I'd used silicone bumper polish, a valeting product for cars on the tyres. It soaks in and makes them a bit more subtle and gives them a shine. Knowing my luck, next year they'll be rotted. And here I'm using Solvawater Sol again on the plastic. I've probably got a better finish with my mini Dremel, but I didn't set it up. I've not had the patience with not being well, so... But it did as well. It didn't have to be absolutely perfect. They ended up clear and shiny, which is the aim of the game. And here I'm giving them a dipping floor polish. For that ka-ching look. Ka-ching shine. Shiny, shiny boots of leather. Oh dear. Anyway, here I'm trying some painting implements, I think is the best name. I got from Temu. I've ended up a Temu bitch. And they're not that bad really. Just for dabbing bits of paint on and chucking away. You get about a bag of 100 for about, I think it's something stupid like 2-3 quid. They're good for... Temu's great for consumables. If you're into this game, it's fantastic for consumables, Temu. The stuff they've got to give a try for on the bench is unreal. There's some fantastic innovations. we go in for a quick assemble. Oh, we're putting the spur in on the chassis there. Oh no, I'm not. I'm putting the springs in. It has dual coiled springs. I put them in, then realised I had to put my boot in. Boot lid, so I took them out again and put the boot lid in. I'd also greased them, the boot lid's in now. And now I've put a bit of grease on the axle and put the axle in. And here we are. Here's where we started. A bit beaten up and battered and not the most perfect paint job back in the day. It weren't bad, but I think I've got better. I've got rid of those casting seams, make it a bit smoother. You'll see that once the job comes up. It gained a steering wheel out of a dinky Rolls Royce. Seems to do the job adequately. Oh yeah, it's quite a nice model. It's nice proportions and it's about as Series 1 as they get. Anyway, here's the first glimpse. And you can see the steering wheel's back in there. It's a left hooker, which obviously, built in Spain it would have been. And there you are, lower down view. Looks a lot nicer with the... It looks a lot nicer with the bumpers picked out in chrome. And the front badge and grille. Done in polished up and chromed as well. And here we are with all the bits open. So you can see the engine, it had a separate spur wheel. I think you can take the spur in and out of the boot. Not that I'm gonna, but I think you can. But the engine's a nice representation. Looks the dog's gonads. Anyway, thanks for watching and tatty.